I'm Tom Rioch, promoting successful business experts, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Mumbai, India, Mithyll Dave, digital coaching and content strategy, founder of VIHT, and it's VIH Tribez Content Lab, specializing in building thriving online brands. So Mithyll, why do you advocate for organic growth? What benefits does it bring?
All right. So, Tom, when it comes to organic marketing, there is something that everyone needs to understand, whether it's a solopreneur or a brand. I'll focus more on the solopreneurs, coaches, and artists who are my target audience. They are the ones who start from scratch, and they don't have primarily any kind of financial backing to, go with the paid marketing.
Right.
So, in my coaching and consulting with my students as well as the brands, I specifically ask them to first understand your target audience, their pain points, and that can be achieved primarily through organic marketing. You will also get to know and do a kind of a testing on various social media platforms as well as traffic generating platforms. And you will get a response as to which are the things that people are liking it, which are the things that which they don't like. And basis on that, you will be able to create a customer persona, an avatar. And once you have that avatar, then you can go ahead and, then you can go into the paid marketing in inorganic marketing, because when it comes to inorganic marketing, specifically those platforms ask our demographics and psychographics. So where are you going to bring those data from? Organic.
And well, what I like what you said of finding out what people don't like, because we tend to focus on what they do like. And the majority of the people have more don't likes than likes.
Yes.
And specifically what we want to do, we need to understand. I used to always say, you can learn from a yes when you get a sale, but we learn more from a no.
Agreed.
So in the testing that you said and the checking, is that part of it?
True.
So to see what does not resonate.
Yes. Because that's important, Tom. And as you said, we learn from a lot of no. So one thing that I learned from my father and many of the sales gurus is when it comes to no stands for new opportunity. So you have to kind of...
Good one.
Thank you. So yes, that's how we learn it. And as an entrepreneur or as a solopreneur, one thing that you have to constantly wear the hat is the hat of a learner. And you need to constantly keep on understanding, reading the statistics, analytics, which around 80% of the people don't do. And that's where, it becomes a very critical thing to focus on in the business, apart from business, or I can say conversions. But analytics is something which in corporates we call as MIS. And that's something which is very important.
No, and also not only today, it has been, but it's more evident today. Things change, not even daily, they change every 4 seconds. So tendencies can change rapidly.
Absolutely. And with the power of new AI concepts, things drastically changed. There was time pre-COVID, the world was different.
Right.
The 3 years of COVID was different. And 2024 onwards is the age of AI. Everything just completely changed overnight. And every day new tools come. Algorithm changes and a lot of things happening, and it becomes sometimes very overwhelming for anyone to understand all the things. And I always say,
I agree. I don't, but it has reinforced that I need somebody to help me because we only have a fixed amount of time, so I can either dedicate to learn about the new tools, or I can dedicate some of that to find somebody who can help me use those.
Absolutely.
So that's what you do anywhere? Are you focused just in India?
No, I have a lot of my clients, a lot of my students from USA, Canada, Europe, Brazil, Australia, and of course, a larger part is in India too. So I proudly say my students are from 6 continents.
Well, that's a planetary business today.
Absolutely. It's global.
It is global, and through that, and we've seen that for years from the, let's say the Indian expertise has always been world acclaimed and known to be cutting edge, and that's from the Brazilian perspective, but also other places. So that's where it is. Payment systems,
Yes.
completely different. I think Brazil has replicated that. Other countries, like in the United States, they still use money. They still use coins and paper. Brazil, we don't hardly use that anymore, and we've learned, I think, a lot from India.
Yes. So digitalization is the future. And when we say about global recession, we talk about climate change, then I think we need to adopt to a lot of things. And those applications happens not just in technology, but even in our day-to-day activities. So yes, the sooner you adapt, you actually walk the talk.
So to what you do, you mentioned students and you mentioned clients. It's across the
Yes.
board. Do you have a special focus on markets or products, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. So basically, I have a concept which is called as a 5 pillar concept, which I think practically works on almost all businesses, and that is the foundation of the digital business. So I have three verticals in my company. Coaching and consulting is one. I do have an agency, and the third, which is the most important part, and that's building a community platform.
Aha.
So yes, I juggle between the coaching and the community because that's something which is very close to me. Agency is a support system for the people who need any help. But one thing that I have in my mind, and I follow it, and I'm doing it from past 8 years, is I don't go and knock anyone's door, and I don't try to sell anything. I help people buy.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at your site right now, and I see that. And for our listeners, it is mithyll.com. And
Sure.
right up on top comes out community.
Absolutely.
So that's
So
it. You say you are a chief content alchemist. So
Yes.
it's not even a chemist, because you really don't know what to mix to make things happen. You have to find it, right?
True. And yes, I do have my graduation in chemistry. So yes,
Oh, really?
yes.
Well, then maybe you need that. But anyway, it says that your mission is to help solopreneurs, artists, and coaches build brand, right? Build
Yes.
brand. Let's bring that up there, and create effective content. So that's the name of the
Absolutely.
game.
That is because content is everything. That is the starting point of any business. Yeah. And if you don't make content, people will not even be knowing about what it is.
Right.
Like, for example, if you go to Shopify or WooCommerce, you add your product, the description is your content, that photograph is your content.
Right.
The more better you do it, the more it resonates with people.
So how can our listeners find you then?
They can find me. I'm practically on all platforms, but yes, you can simply go ahead and you can either come to my website. It's mithyldave.com, as you said, MITHYLLDAVE. You can come on LinkedIn, same name, Instagram, same name. That's one thing that I teach everyone. Please keep the standard name everywhere, because the SEO kind of finds you the right way.
Right. Very
So
good.
yes,
So thanks
thank you.
again for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
And again, for our listeners at Mithyll Dave, it's Mithyll, the last name Dave, and that's the name of the site, mithyldave.com. You find him on LinkedIn and literally everywhere else. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at their site, focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.